ke o ma kurunpa ko le son wele leje ogbo ma ko le iseda wele okejo gbo wa loke oke iro se ba mo jo igbagba jo genge tari kere ke ka wele ka lo re jo gbedu gbedu.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, we're back after that poetry.
I have tasted of your power.
We started today's program with a program of about Shebi about Seed of Christ, thereafter Comfort Life Mission and all the sponsored programs.
In different ways, I have
Never think or speak negative about yourself. That alone puts you in disagreement with God, your Creator.
are a great.
This is Oluyole FM 98.5, bringing the time now to 22 minutes to 7 on the AM side. It's a lovely Thursday, the 18th day of the month of December 2025. Burkina Faso frees detained Nigerian soldiers' aircraft. JAM to accredit 1,039 CBT centers for 2026 UTME examination. Well, wherever you are, is conversation right now with Tola and Bimbo. You're welcome.
Conversation.
A very good morning, and you're still very much on to Oluyole 98.5 FM on the stables of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. Welcome you to Conversation this Thursday morning, the 18th day in the month of December 2025. Conversation, well, what we do on the program is pretty simple. We bring you stories making the major headlines in the dailies. We do our best to give you top-notch analysis. In due course, we get to open the phone lines and we invite you to be a part of the flow. Together, we try to understand and make sense of those major events unfolding around our country, our nation, and our world. And that's why the program is called Conversation. Mondays to Saturdays, except Sundays, we are here. Our thoughts, views, and opinions, what we will be sharing with you as presenters and analysts, not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And of course, we are networking on Okogoro FM 96.3, our sister station in Alaga, in the Okogoro of the state, Agility FM, Gambari, Ogumosho, on the 92.1 FM dial. No one beats our reach. All over this great state, we are there. Beyond Oyo State, we are there. Beyond the shores of Nigeria, not on via the social media platform, Facebook precisely, at a BCOS, and you are on to Conversation. Once again, wherever you are listening across the world, you are welcome. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi, yes, with Tola Teriba on Conversation, yes, every day except Sundays, Mondays to Saturdays. Conversation is program news analysis, talking about stories making the rounds across the country and beyond the shores of the country. Now, straight to stories. There are so many stories here that is staring us in the face. Now, talking about the petroleum sector now, Tola, I have here, there has been these controversies, between the Dangote Group, and the federal government, the NNPCL, and, well, some issues came up, and some executives of some petroleum sectors have been, resigned just yesterday. And, the sector, the Nigerian petroleum sector, was yesterday thrown into fresh uncertainty on Wednesday, following the resignation of the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, and his counterpart at the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, amid a deepening controversy triggered by allegations and a petition filed by the president of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote.
Well, there is no uncertainty. They've been replaced.
Yes, already, yeah. And the president announced the resignations, of the two regulators on Wednesday, a development widely seen as fallout from the escalating dispute between the Dangote refinery and the NMDPRA over fuel importation, pricing, regulatory oversight in the downstream sector. And the shake-up came days after Dangote publicly accused Ahmed of economic sabotage and petitioned the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission to investigate what they described as questionable personal wealth, including allegations that the regulator paid about $15 million for the secondary education of his 4 children in Switzerland. Like we said yesterday, Dangote, Aliko Dangote, is a quiet person, is the quiet type. He doesn't talk. Is now coming out, alleging, some people in the oil sector. What I believe is that there must be issues between them, both of them, because they have been giving him issues too, especially the NNPCL, federal government, and these regulatory bodies. And I don't know why Dangote just felt he should just come out, and investigations came, and immediately they resigned. The investigations, how many days did it take? Just 1 day or 2.
Well,
and the guys, the guys that resigned, maybe they thought they should just quickly resign before they will be castigated.
Well, the investigations cannot be over just yet. I guess the investigations are still very much on. It will take more than a day to probe into such heavy allegations that must have spanned quite a length of time. And, Alhaji Aliko Dangote also accused Farouk Ahmed of living above his means, and they have submitted a petition to the ICPC. So I guess that is also still being probed. But I don't know if I should describe this development as a positive, because in the sense that I've seen one thing about this current administration, the fact that people do resign when it comes to matters of incompetence, when it seems as if they have skeletons in their cupboard, when it seems as if there are embarrassing developments regarding the office they occupy. So it's either they resign or they are coerced to resign. I want to believe the latter, that maybe they are coerced, they are forced to resign. So which means that this current administration does have a semblance of conscience, does know the meaning of embarrassment, does know the meaning of what it is to be labeled as inept. If you have some scandals up your sleeves. So not that it changes anything, not that it changes the system, not that it leaves the system all clean, all high and dry. But then I think it's also a step forward. Either they resign voluntarily or they are coerced to resign. So there must be more to this. Now, in the face of someone, especially the one who is still trying to defend himself against certain allegations, and all of a sudden he resigns, he steps down. The same thing for, maybe the immediate past Minister of Defense now, And others, we have seen cases of others that have stepped down like that. But usually it is the presidency that announces their resignations.
Yes.
So that tells Nigeria, kind of tells Nigerians that perhaps they were coerced to quit those positions.
Yes.
But sometimes we also see that they are rewarded with even plumber positions.
At the end of the
at
day.
the end of the day. So, well, we don't know yet where all this is heading. But regarding the defense, what looked like a robust defense seemingly put up by Mr. Farouk, regarding the allegations leveled against him by Alhaji Aliko Dangote, is saying here that he never responded to those allegations, and I'm trying to look for the story. All that response we read yesterday, where he was trying to explain how he paid for his children's school fees in Switzerland, and where he was saying that most of it was on scholarship and on merit.
Yes.
Now, it says the chief executive in Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum and Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, Mr. Farouk Ahmed, has denied responding to recent allegations against him by the president of Dangote Industries, Aliko Dangote. In a statement signed by Ahmed early Wednesday in Abuja, he denied responding to the allegations. Ahmed said he was aware of the wild and spurious allegations made against him and his family and the frenzy it had generated, but that as a regulator of a sensitive industry, he opted not to engage in public brickbats. Now, quoting him, my attention has been drawn to a purported response I was said to have made on the recent allegations against my person. I hereby state that the statement did not emanate from me. Thankfully, the person behind the allegations has taken it to a formal investigative institution. I believe that will provide an opportunity to dispassionately distill the issues and to clear my name, he said. So, where did that response we read yesterday, where did this come from?
We don't know. Does he have maybe a media officer, or we don't know. Maybe that person did it on his behalf, if it is possible.
They said the statement was signed personally by him. That's what we read yesterday.
So what are we talking about here now?
I think somebody just told him to shut up and stop talking. Somebody who has his reins, who has his handle, just told him to shut up and I should stop talking. I should simply let things lie. Eventually, all this will die out, and then we will never see the end of the investigations by the ICPC. I said it because I also remember the case of a particular minister. I can't remember his exact portfolio now, but it came from the energy sector, where he also resigned. And we promised Nigeria that he would be responding to the allegations against him, that he would defend himself concerning the allegations against him in due course. But as we speak, we've not heard any more about that case. Only that he stepped down.
Yes,
decided to resign.
Tola, like you said maybe those two ogas were forced to resign. Now, in response to the petition and controversy generated, Ahmed was summoned to the presidential villa, and his resignation was subsequently announced. Komolafe, who was not directly involved in the immediate dispute, was also affected.
Babariga has been smeared now.
Yes, with sources indicating that the presidency opted for a simultaneous leadership change at both regulatory agencies. One was summoned to the presidential villa. Maybe some talks might have gone underneath. And, we don't know.
Well, quite unlike his predecessor, the man in that office, the man who occupies the top seat at the Aso Villa, it seems to be sensitive to these things and the kind of embarrassment it generates, unlike the previous ones, like I said, who do not care, who would simply ignore you, and they will call you a noise maker and a rabble rouser, even in the face of glaring smears of corruption against certain individuals, organizations, and groups, and even against their person. So they simply didn't care. But like I said, I'm not saying that this is a sign that things are getting better. I'm not saying that this has changed anything, but at least it shows sensitivity on the part of the one ruling us presently. So if that someone hadn't come, they wouldn't have resigned. They would have continued to occupy that office.
I think it was a kind of directive, coercing people, politicians, leaders, governors, to act according to one script or the other. Okay, fine. Like you said, and later there might be, given some top jobs, sometime later. Now, to fill these positions, that those GMs and chief executives of the corporations are them where they resigned. President Tinubu wrote to the Senate and they requested an expedited confirmation of, well, this name, if I can't pronounce it very well, Tola, I'm sure it is you that can. Ulishe Meiwa Amanuriseu Eyesan as the Chief Executive Officer of the NUPRC, and Engineer Seidu Aliyu Mohammed as CEO of NMDPRA. That is according to Ononuga, the spokesperson for the presidency.
So, like I said, Bimbo, this development, whichever way we want to look at it, I think it's still a good start for the fact that even if Mr. Farouk Ahmed and the other gentleman, even if they are exonerated of all these allegations by Raja Ali Dangote at the end of the day, it is still a good step forward in the sense that once you have you are occupying that kind of sensitive position and you have weighty allegations against you hanging around your neck, the best thing is to step down. And or if you are in a particular office and you are found to be inept, or maybe through negligence something unpleasant happens that affects the entire nation, as we hear in the other claims, to step down. So either they were coerced or not, I believe we will get to that level, to that stage whereby they will no longer have to be coerced. They will step down due to conscience, due to the fact that they feel a pang of conscience that, oh, this thing happened because of me. This thing I did has brought embarrassment to my country. So let me just step down. And then if there are allegations against me, let me go defend myself. I want to believe that maybe we'll get there one day. I'm talking about allegations, talking about the actions to allegations. Well, this one here, my father wasn't ignorant of insults, accusations against his administration, Alima Buhari. Only that, like I said, he didn't care. And constructive criticism under his watch was labeled insults and accusations, just like his daughter is saying now. Now, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, well, long time not heard from him.
Yes.
He says, my book to correct misinformation about Buhari years. And you are very much part of that misinformation, Alhaji.
Yes, yes.
And, okay, Adeni, book reviewer, false his account on End SARS protest. And Makinde was at the book launch. But the governor says he has no intention of joining the APC. A lot of meanings would have been read into his presence at that event.
At that event, yes.
At Alima Buhari, daughter of the immediate past president, Muhammadu Buhari, on Wednesday gave a startling revelation of the private moments of her late father after his exit from office. When it was a Yaradua Center in Abuja, the event was the presentation of a book, Headlines and Sound Bites, and Media Moments That Defined an Administration, authored by former Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Addressing the gathering of former ministers, ex-governors, an incumbent governor, traditional rulers and chieftains of the All Progressive Congress APC and the African Democratic Congress ADC, Alima revealed that the former president was aware that Nigerians who nursed great hope and believed in Buhari's capacity to restore sanity in all sectors of their lives, particularly the insecurity and hardship of the economy, were disappointed by his performance. Speaking like an insider in the seat of power, Halima Awa recalled the encumbrance her late father encountered as she noted that there was a wide gap between idealism and a grip reality, particularly in a complex country like Nigeria. The same excuse given by every Nigerian. She said, behind every soundbite, there was a human being, sometimes tired, sometimes determined, sometimes frustrated, always painfully aware that his decisions impacted millions of lives. That human being was our father. I saw a side of him that never appeared on television and was rarely captured in print. I saw the man who would sit quietly listening more than he spoke, the man who worried about the security of ordinary people, the man who agonized over the gap between what was promised and what was possible. Oh, well, I don't want to read anymore because it's getting me worked up.
Yes.
Now, when a leader comes into office, he comes into office because he feels he can tackle these problems. Now, these same things, these same issues that successive Nigerian leaders have raised, each leader comes in saying that those were mere excuses, and that the particular leader that offered those excuses in the past simply wasn't competent, was simply incapable, was simply inept, and that he has come and is going to fix things, only for that same leader to come there and after years of abysmal failure at most 2 terms, he begins to give the same old excuses, saying that Nigeria is complex. Oh, Nigeria cannot be fixed in one night. The same excuse that Bimbo also supports, and that Nigeria, the road to Nigerians have to be patient. Nigerians, we are impatient with him. There was a cabal. There were hyenas and jackals in the villa. Was sometimes the kind of excuses that they are, although home truths coming from the wife of the now departed leader, Muhammadu Buhari, Aisha Buhari, and Halima was sounding very much like her mother now, also saying the same things in a different way that our mother said. But the difference is that Aisha believed that her husband could have put his foot down, could have done more to confront, to face up, to stand toe to toe with the so-called cabal and the family. Where his love of family was too much, his love for his own people, for his own kinsmen, even when some of them were bringing the nation to its knees, he did not care, because his love for them was much stronger than the love he had for the country. So here is Halima also saying this now, and he says for the public he was President Buhari, for us at home he was simply Baba. Leadership, especially in a country as complex as Nigeria, is never as straightforward as it looks from the outside. It annoys me when they say these things. So why didn't you leave the seat of power when you know that this leadership was not as straightforward as it looks from the outside? Why didn't you quit when you knew that it was too complex for you to handle?
It was not in the character, and it is not in the character of Nigerians.
It is not. 8 good years, Bimbo. And you knew it was too complex. Why did you keep on staying there? And you now want to shift the blame. So who should take the blame now?
Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back.
Àwọn ọmọ ọba aṣojú ọbí ọba àwọn ọba ahẹ́rẹ̀ ntẹ̀mẹ́ni jọjọ kódà ọlọ́lá wa gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé FNSA DSC GSSRS ní ọmọ kíwa káàbọ̀. This is the 7th 2025 Christmas Carol Service and Main Lessons Ministry. Prophet Ezekiah Oladeji, General Evangelist, CSC Nigeria and overseas, with our fathers and mothers of faith on ground Gidigba. Glorious twins láti Èkó, Jídé Àjọgbà Jésù. Sẹ̀wọ̀lẹ̀ Jésù, Wùmí Ìbíkúnlé, pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ olórin àti àwọn ẹgbẹ́ akọrin ẹ̀mí mi. Ìbàdàn North LG Pace Setter Modern Park B, tọ́kọ̀gùn sí gbàgede ìrántí Remembrance Arcade, ládùúgbò ilé ìjọba Alágbòdì Gate Ìbàdàn, láti ṣètọ́dún yìí o. Lọ́jọ́ ìsinmi yìí December 21 mẹ́ta àbọ̀sán 3:30 p.m. prompt ní àjọ̀dún orin kérésìmesì kíkọ tọdún yìí ló sì ń gbéra sọ. Announcer Ọ̀yọ́ State Government.
Any motor wey you dey drive, you need confirm protection no for your engine no. Keke make am mobile, make it mobile oh, make it mobile. Anywhere you dey, the motor deserve to be number 1 yo. Make it mobile oh, make it mobile. You carry the go, make everybody join me say, make it mobile.
Make you go with the best.
Make it mobile.
Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ó lé téńté. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ó lé kẹ́ńkà. A ti kú lọ́mọdé àmúkọ́rùn lóko. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ gòkè àgbà. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ pa 50 ọdún Golden Jubilee tó ti ń dá kékeré lúkẹ́ dára gbayì láwùjọ. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Ọ̀yọ́ State Golden Jubilee. ìrọ̀rùn ló wọlé tọ̀ wá wá sábàbí lọ́rọ̀ ayé gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ẹnjìnìà olúwaṣèyí mákindé lẹ́dùnmarè fi ṣe sábàbí ọ̀yọ́ state golden jubilee tá a pa 50 ọdún nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ìdàgbàsókè ń lọ bó ti tọ́ afẹ́fẹ́ àlàáfíà ń fẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ nílé lóko lódò lẹ́yìn odi ohun gbogbo pẹ̀lú ìdùnnú elédùwà fi ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ bí 50 ọdún sẹ́yìn tá a ti gbòmìnira ọkọ̀ gbogbo ayé ẹ wá bá wa yọ̀ ẹ wá bá wa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń bá wa yọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ láàmú bá gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ẹnjìnìà olúwaṣèyí mákindé yọ̀ gómìnà olóríire tó forí sọ sábàbí ọ̀yọ́ state golden jubilee àkọ́kọ́ rú ẹ̀ nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ìpínlẹ̀ tí gbogbo olókoòwò ń wò láti bá dòwò pọ̀. olùkéde alága ìgbìmọ̀ ọ̀yọ́ state at 50 honourable saheed fijabi ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ò ní bàjẹ́ ń bàjẹ́ tì.
Yes, it's that time of the year again when we come together to thank the Almighty for His faithfulness over our lives all through the year at the Omitutu 2025 Mega Praise and End of the Year Thanksgiving. The theme for this year's edition is Triumphant Praise. Iyi Shago. We will have a small time in God's presence as ministers like Babatumishe, Pastor Ifolu Audogio, Dr. Yinka Ayefele, and a host of others will serenade us with their melodic sound. And this is happening at exactly 3 p.m. on Monday, December 22nd, 2025. And the venue is the Payseta Car Park, Agodi Gate, Ibadan North Local Government Area. Ladies and gentlemen, go get your dancing shoes ready and let's vibe triumphantly with the host of Omitutu Mega Praise 2025, His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde. See you there!
Right, we're back, and it's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. And we were talking about Alhaji Lai Mohammed's book, where I said he was trying to set the record straight. And for Alhaji Lai Mohammed, he said, he says there that his motivation for writing the book was to give an accurate account of what happened during the Buhari years and correct misinformation already in public space. He said for almost 8 years that he was at the center of government communication, crisis management, national orientation, culture, and tourism, and that he saw firsthand how decisions were made, how narratives were shaped, and how misinformation often overshadowed facts. So this book, therefore, is about correcting misconceptions, providing context, and sharing first-hand accounts that history must not forget. But Bimbo, you know what? I insist that well, having written this book, he said he was trying to correct the misconceptions, but what Nigerians want to know is that does Alhaji Lai Mohammed, true to his conscience, does he really feel that that government actually delivered on the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians? Can he conveniently say that we did our best, that we left Nigeria better than we met it? That is what Nigerians want to hear, not the correction of any misconception.
Yes, he was part of the misinformation carriers
and the misconception.
Yes, and well, and that I believe that is his job, and that was his job then. It was part of this misinformation. So what is he trying to correct? And I am sure all what he wrote in that book, there will be some lies there, I believe, and I know.
You know, some people actually try to adulterate his name when he was in that office.
They were saying, okay, Lai
L-A-I. That's his name.
So people will now say
L-I-E.
L-I-E, Lai Mohammed.
But now, but then that's just by the way, people. Like I said, what Nigerians want to know from him is that can he beat his chest and say that that government left Nigeria better than they met it? Is it a misconception that insecurity is now even worse? That left Nigeria even worse in terms of insecurity, in terms of economy, that left the country much worse, in terms of development, in terms of even infrastructure. They beat their chest, they talk about the rail lines and all that, but then even that we know the success achieved in that is at best fluctuating.
Yes.
So is it also a misconception that health services were down, education was down? Is it also a misconception that universities remain short for the better part of that administration?
And research institutes were just abandoned.
Or is it also a misconception that social services, everything was at zero level, that virtually nothing worked under that administration? Were all those also misconceptions? And the excuse given by the former president's daughter, the now late president, that Nigeria was too complex, is that enough an excuse for you not to be able to do anything for the country in 8 years? Yes. Well, quickly, before we leave that, Bimbo, the Oyo State governor was at that event, and people were reading meaning. Because, of course, that was an APC event, unless you want to fool yourself. Yes. So, in his remarks, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde called for an elite consensus to address the numerous challenges confronting the country. Now, I told the governor that his appearance at the event should not be misconstrued as a subtle move to join the ruling party. He said, my experience is that ordinary Nigerians, they already have a consensus that they want to be Nigerians, but the elite, were the ones dividing this country. This one is a Muslim, the other person is a Christian or is Yoruba. So I came here to say, well, this book, because I know the author, he is a Nigerian, who will attract all sorts of people across the divide, and that's why I'm here. I'm not in APC, and I'm not about to fall into APC either. So we're here as Nigerians from across the divide. I believe we need an elite consensus just for improvement of our political situation. So that's what the government is saying here. It says it's trying to make a statement that we are one, and that it is one Nigeria, irrespective of our political leanings.
Yes, and that is not joining the APC. Well.
But I'm curious here, Bimbo. It doesn't say that President Tinubu was at that event, and it doesn't say here that his representative was there. Because I looked at the roll call of dignitaries, and I've not seen a representative of the president, and he definitely wasn't there.
Well, let's leave that as that. Now, talking about security now, here, well, the international matters now, before we come to the internal one, the European Union and Nigeria are taking steps to further cement their existing relations through enhanced defense engagement as part of broader efforts to address Nigeria's evolving security challenges. And this was disclosed on Wednesday when the European Union ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mr. Gautier Mignot, paid a courtesy visit to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Oluyole, at the Defense Headquarters. And while congratulating Oluyole on his recent appointment, Ambassador Mignot reaffirmed the EU's commitment to supporting Nigeria in overcoming its security challenges. Well, we hope that works. We hope the support will come to pass. And, well, we hope that all will be well in the area of security, talking about this support and cooperation and all those from the EU, from the United States government, from other countries across the West. Okay, yes, you can go on with your...
still talking about insecurity and counter-terrorism. NSA, National Security Advisor, clarifies counter-terrorism operation in Kwara. Says office not arming socio-cultural organizations. Okay, I'm trying to story. Okay, on page 16 of the Nigerian Tribune. The National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, under the Office of the National Security Advisor, has clarified the nature of its counter-terrorism activities ongoing in Kwara State, declaring that national interest is key to its operations. The office stated on Wednesday that the government was never in the habit of conducting kinetic operations in collaboration with any socio-cultural organization. Claims suggesting that the Office of the National Security Advisor has armed, sponsored, or formally partnered with such groups are inaccurate and should be disregarded. The Office of the National Security Advisor made statement public on Wednesday, and it was signed by Abu I. Michael. Okay. They said they are not arming social-cultural organizations. Okay, well, that's I don't support their arming social-cultural organizations unless absolutely necessary and with close monitoring and collaboration with the security agencies. But saying that they are not involving them in their kinetic operations, and they are not conducting kind of operations in collaboration with these groups. I think that's a blunder on their part, if indeed this is the case. These are the people that know the ground, the people that know the terrain. And when you refuse to work with them, instead of working with them to end this problem, you prefer to sit at table with the perpetrators of these evils. You prefer to invite them to table and sit and have coffee with them, and then they come to your negotiation table with their ammunition belts and all that, and you celebrate them as if they were kings and emperors that are visiting you, that are on a trade visit to your territory. So I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me if you are not saying that the socio-cultural groups, the ones that know the area, the ones that know the communities, the ones that can help you in local intelligence gathering, you are saying that you are not collaborating with them, but rather sit and negotiate with bandits.
Yes. And actually, you know, we always talk about the fact that the financiers, they should be uprooted. You know, government, I've been saying, they will mention names of those financing these terrorists, these bandits, these criminals. I am sure, I told you the other time, I know these names will never come out. Yes, I know.
Even the names come out, what difference is it going to make?
If they arrest them, they will have arrested them, then release the names. But they are just saying they will release the names. They will release the names. Nothing is coming out till now, and I'm sure it is the same statement that will be said till kingdom come. Now, still talking about insecurity, gunmen kill 12 miners, abduct 3 in Plateau State again. Now, no fewer than 12 persons have reportedly been killed, while 3 others were abducted after gunmen attacked miners in Fan community of Barkin-Ladi local government area of Plateau State. And according to reports, the attack occurred at about 9 p.m. on Tuesday while they were engaged in legal mining activities. And the incident also left 5 other miners injured, and the assailants were said to have invaded the mining site in large numbers and opened fire on the miners, causing panic and leading to multiple casualties at the scene. And the injured victims were taken to a nearby hospital for medical attention, while others are efforts ongoing to rescue those abducted by the attackers. Well, we hope they will be rescued. Now again, gunmen disguised in military uniforms have killed a soldier and abducted 13 passengers during coordinated attacks on 2 commercial vehicles along the Okene Auchi Highway. Tola, what I always worry about is, you know, this term coordinated attacks, coordinated attacks to abduct people, you know, in operations. That word coordinated, that means they are really trained.
That's to be coordinated to succeed.
Yes.
On Power Probe, more than 2 trillion required to complete over 100 ongoing projects, says TCN, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, accusing states of demanding 3 trillion ground rents compensation. And also, analysts fault federal government's double standard on 30 trillion revenue shortfall, flag contradictions in fiscal claim, and suspend new tax regime. Nigerians already overburdened. Opposition tells federal government. That's talking about the economy this morning.
Yes. Now, you know, I mentioned something about fake local government officials collecting money. Now, let me just give you this story now, and I'll give you another example. I told you, yes, I told our listener the other time that I witnessed some scenes in Ibadan here, Oyo State. Now, travelers heading to various parts of the country for the Christmas festivities raised alarm over rampant extortion by hoodlums masquerading as local government officials on major highways. And those plying the eastern axis lamented that the hoodlums have taken over key sections of the Lagos-Onitsha Expressway, stopping motorists to demand radio licenses or force them to pay arbitrary fines. And victims said the activities are most pronounced around Oluyole in Ondo State, Benin City in Edo State, Asaba in Delta State, and Onitsha Ed Bridge in Anambra State. Well, I witnessed one before. We were heading to Delta State, Asaba, from Ibadan, and we were in a church bus for my brother's engagement, and well, we just saw those guys. I think around Owan West local government. Yes, they just brought out some licenses. I mean some stickers and said we should pay church bus, and they were just so well. They were so adamant. They did not want to hear anything. I had to approach one of them. He was smoking the usual stuff that they used to smoke. He said, yes, you are talking very well, but you have to pay. We had to part with 15,000 naira before we were allowed to leave then that year.
Maybe they felt that churches and other religious organizations are also commercial ventures. You know, of course, in Nigeria, you hear when churches are formed, they will say so ministry incorporated. So maybe on that, we are thinking along that line. But they saw your church as a commercial venture.
A commercial venture from your state, Owan West.
Yeah, you're doing business, doing church business.
Owan West was I think yes, Pa Imodu, the renowned labor leader.
Once you are in their territory, you've carried your business to their territory. So maybe that was what they were thinking. Our protest for benefit of all Nigerians, says NLC. The protest was in Abuja. I know it happened in Abuja, Lagos, and then Enugu. But then, aside that, I don't think
it was not a pronounced protest.
Let's open the phone lines. 070-5555-1985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
John calling from Ilori.
Good to have you, sir.
Aisha Buhari is talking. The daughter of Buhari is talking. We don't need all this talk. It's irrelevant. If you know your father told you that the situation of this Nigeria is complex, in your own capacity as a child, what is your relationship with your dad? I don't think it is wrong if a child tells his father, Daddy, if you know you can't fix this thing, better you throw in the towel. There is nothing wrong if a wife that stays in the same room with his husband, hearing all these things, kabah, this and that, throw in the towel. I, as a child, has done that to my father. I have told his own wife, tell your husband though, he has a good name, you should not spoil it before he leaves. He should not take any appointment. Nothing wrong if a child advises his father. So they should just leave all the story and they allow the man to just rest. That's it. Number two, I'm asking, the children that was kidnapped in Niger State is like we are moving on. Are those kids going to spend Christmas in the den of the lion? Now, anytime they are released, few of them are released, you give them new clothes, you bring them to Aso Rock, you take them to government house. Did you care the psychological aspect of their life, what they went through? Who cares that? And when those children go, what will they become? What will they become when they are at that tender age? They are getting all this trauma. When they grow up, what will they become? Nigeria, do something about these children. I'm pleading with the UN. If they not really know they want to help us, they should ban everybody carrying diplomatic passport not to enter their country until this country is fixed. Once you do that, if the US do that and tell some of its allies that anybody carrying diplomatic passport in Nigeria should not be allowed into US or any European country, they will sit down at home and fix this country. Enjoy your day. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll have this commercial break. We'll be back.
èyíkéyìí ọkọ̀ tó bá ń wà. ó nílò ààbò tó péye. máa dágunlá jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. níbikíbi tó bá wà ló fún ojú lọ́wọ́.
kó jẹ́ mú bí o. Lóbi ní ìṣúlẹ̀ ọjọ́. Jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. Lọ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó. Jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o.
Oh, I beg you get change. I won't give customer.
I don't get to. Get First Money Merchant POS. Let customers pay with cards and never miss a sale. Don't let no change cost you sales. With First Money Merchant POS, enjoy fast payments, instant settlement, and secure transactions. Visit any First Bank branch or sign up on www.firstbanknigeria.com/get your POS to get yours today. First Bank, you first.
Back. It's good to know you're still there, and there's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm looking at it.
Hey, Mr. Madam.
Now, on the map, who is right? That is not good enough. You should go down very well. Because you rely on them, everything. You want to know anything to a girl, the total pattern corruption. They should go very well. Now, they say Nana and Josh. They give Sharam and Koki. Koki them. Yes, they say nothing about it talking and Nigeria. You know, not talking about Nigeria. They feel Latin. And that feel Latin, they continue to have trouble. Thank you much.
Thank you. There was an incident in Ibadan on Tuesday. It says panic in Ibadan as quarry explosion rocks homes. Residents seek closure. That was along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Oluyole local government area. A powerful blast from a quarry farm located adjacent to Rashidi Ladoja GRE, sending shock waves through homes and businesses. Just that houses shook and people ran out in the streets in fear. This must be looked into. We cannot afford to have another incident. That's what happened in Bodija.
In Bodija, yes. I think last year. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you, sir.
There is this term normally in governance. They call it diplomacy. Diplomacy is presenting life in such a way that it looks like good. I think Mr. Life Mohammed is very good at that. But it is allowed. I think it is allowed in governance. That's one. Number two, if somebody who signed the statement by Mr. Farouk now says the statement was not from him out of his card, Mr. Senator, I hope you will respond to that. Thank you so much from Irua.
Thank you very much from Irua. 070 5555 1985. We have another caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Gide.
On the book, like Mohammed is writing, and Aisha Gari, and what the Tories account has been saying. One thing I just repeat there is that they just want to, I think, over there, wherever they are, people are not treating them well. So they want to correct the impression that the government has not been good. That's what all of them are. That's why all of them are coming out now to correct what is not corrected. But one thing is, they are lucky. I want to thank Mr. President he raised the family. He helped the family. Let me put it that way. It has been an enemy that has taken over the government when he left. All of them would have been in jail right now. All of them. If it has been like Mohammed and Co. that are writing books now, they are just lucky that their enemies did not take over power. If it has been an enemy to Buhari that are taking over power, we won't be here. All of them that are talking now won't be there. They'll be talking. Then on the issue of insecurity. Now, I heard something yesterday. The Kwara State government arrested some gunmen last week with ammunition and cartridges of bullets and others. But later they said the office of those guys work with the office of NSA, office of the National Security Advisor, that they are not military men, they are not government officials, government security agencies, but they are just vigilantes who work directly with NSA. I mean, if you know you're a vigilante with the ATLA that work directly with NSA, then what about the Odua groups? Who can't they work with NSA too? What about other groups too? I mean, why do you give them preference as vigilante to be working with NSA office? Because they are Fulani. I don't know. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
See why we may never solve this problem.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Teacher, can God will bless you too.
Amen.
The wonderful work you are doing every day.
Thank you.
I want to believe that nobody can be more worried than his wife and children. They know him inside out. So, like Brother John said from Iran, how can we know that his truth is not telling lies? To fall into to question the power, they must have told him. You see, like rightly said, like Mr. Bimbo rightly said the other time, it is not in the nature of Nigerians to resign their appointment unless threatened. So, how can we rightly say that they did not even tell him? They must have told him, but he did not. So that's it. On security issues, like I said the other time, it has become a criminal problem in Nigeria unless God's intervention. People cannot do anything about the security of this country because he's turning the line of he's exalting his personality. So there's no way you can do anything contrary to what he laid down.
Well, thank you, Mr. Akombi Adebayo. But we're still squeezing one more call. I think our time is fast spent. And then we have to go. I've been an interesting conversation. I'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day.
Conversation.
Prepare to jingle this coming